How do we start the editorial?
Hello,
Just hello and welcome to the editorial. Do you want to do it?
No, I'm happy for you to do it.
Okay.
I mean, I can't. If you want me to do it, I can do it.
I don't care. You do it.
There you go.
Hello and welcome to the editorial, the podcast where we discuss the latest mistakes and bad things that TLDR has done. I'm joined by Zach Michaelis, TLDR's editor-in-chief.
Yeah, hello.
We've not done this in a while.
Well,
we have.
But yeah,
we've not released this in a while.
We should explain, for context. We've actually recorded. The reason we haven't done an editorial in ages is because we recorded 3 times
at least,
and every time there's been something wrong with
there's been a technical error or an audio thing that hasn't worked, or we've lost files. We've done everything wrong.
Yeah, so if we seem suspiciously articulate, it's because we've said all of these words 3 times.
But we've said them once a month. It's about once a month.
Yeah.
We're oh, that didn't work last time. We ought to do that again.
Yeah.
And I think the last one that went out probably was September or October. It's been a seriously long time.
Yeah, I think it is. Is it? I think it was.
I think we did 4.
I think it was October.
I think we've almost recorded more episodes than we've released. But recorded and not released more episodes than we have released.
I think you're actually right. So that means, unfortunately, for anyone who wants a quick podcast, we are actually have to do everything bad we've done from basically
since November.
Yeah. There's quite a lot of, we've made quite a lot of silly mistakes. So I think we're going to skim through all of them apart from the most recent one. So apologies for all the silly mistakes. But the 2 videos I think that we probably should just quickly talk about independently, and then I think after that we'll move on to thumbnails, are the Qatar video, and I want to also just apologise for loads of stuff we did in the Erdogan invading Syria video, which came out a month and a half ago. Okay, yeah. It's so basically for context, the way we sort of pick out videos that the audience haven't liked is we just look at the dislike on our sort of
YouTube analytics.
Yeah, YouTube analytics, that's the one. And normally it's between it's about 97, sometimes a bit lower, sometimes a bit higher. And a couple of videos have been well below that. And so then if it's well below, we go have a look at the video, look at the comments, see what people are saying. And there are 2 videos that I think are well below that and also just worth mentioning. One is the Qatar video, which came in at 83%. Yeah. You're grinning because we've already had this conversation.
Also, you literally just said this.
Oh, yes.
You've teed this up twice.
Sorry, anyway. And the other one is the Erdogan invading Syria video, which I have already teed up. The Qatar video, the pushback was a bit on the thumbnail, which said that everything wrong with Qatar, wasn't it? Wasn't particularly neutral. And also some of the content, I think some people thought we were a bit tough on Qatar. The thumbnail, I think we sort of agree with that wasn't particularly neutral. It was quite a heavy-handed stance. Yeah, regarding the content of the video, I think we probably weren't sufficiently delicate in how we approached essentially the sort of cultural relativism, the moral relativism of whether or not we, from our sort of Western-centric perspective, should be criticising Qatar for their various more socially conservative attitudes to certain human rights questions and LGBT rights. Yeah. Again, I'm aware of 2 sides of them. I'm not personally a moral relativist. I do think that, as it were, Western moral and legal standards are just better than basically the Arabic ones in this context. Yeah. But that is it's a genuine open question, and people are moral relativists, and obviously some people think that the reverse is true, and we didn't pay sufficient attention to that, and we didn't treat it sufficiently delicately. I also think that actually, if we're criticising anyone, the criticism should really be directed at FIFA, as opposed to Qatar, who in the end did a pretty good job, to be fair to them. I mean, I don't want to sports wash it, but it was a good World Cup. So that's the Qatar video. And then the other one is the Erdogan invading Syria video. I think actually here we just have to apologise for a load of mistakes. We made a mistake about the electoral system, which was my bad. And it was written by Ben, and to his, I don't know, I'm going to make an excuse on his behalf. Yeah. It's obviously very, very complicated, all the various interplaying alliances in Syria, but we got some of them a little bit confused. Okay. And then the final thing to mention is that probably mischaracterized the relationship between Erdogan and Putin. I think they were described as allies in the video, and that's not quite true. And luckily, we've done another video on that a while ago about the complicated relationship between Turkey and Russia. Yeah. Sort of frenemies. They go from friends to enemies very, very quickly. So those are the 2 ones I want to mention. Yeah. The other thing, the more general thing that actually you've already addressed in a separate video since we talked about this the first time, are thumbnails, and we have had a bit of pushback on certain thumbnails. I think the one we got the most pushback on was probably the one about why nothing is going on in Ukraine. Yes. Which people thought was a bit insensitive. I would agree. This leads on to a more general conversation about how clickbaity thumbnails are allowed to be. And you've talked about this in the video, but yeah, basically, it's just true that clickbaity thumbnails pay massive dividends commercially, and I don't want it to be true. And when I started working for TLDR, you know, I was optimistic about doing super academic, dry thumbnails and like maintaining a viable business through that. But it turns out you can't do that, and I hate to admit it, but it just does work. And there is a Goldilocks zone. I mean,
I was about to say, clickbaity is maybe the wrong word. It's the spectrum, and we're still on the less clickbaity end of that spectrum.
And I think you can have attractive thumbnails, but the key thing is that the title has to relate to the actual content. I think what people don't like is, I mean, the Ukraine one was insensitive, but people really don't like is when it's just not related to the actual content of the video.
Yeah, which I don't think we do very often at all.
No, I think we've done pretty well. We haven't really had much complaints about thumbnails since. And then the final thing is, we've covered everything now. The final thing I want to apologise for.
This is so quick.
We made, it is quick, but I'm just doing apologies.
The first time we've recorded this 4 times, and I reckon every other time it's come in at like half an hour.
How long is this one going to be?
7 minutes.
Oh, great. The final thing I do want to just apologise for is in the last couple of videos, we've had more than average number of like spelling and grammar errors. And that's because we've had one less animator than usual, and because we've slightly changed video styles, and I don't think we'll have to give away exactly like what software and stuff we use. But basically, apparently there's not a spell checker on the new stuff. And that has made it a bit more difficult for the animators. And yeah, we don't have, and we normally have one other animator who sort of oversees what the other 2 animators are doing, or at least sort of like checks it up. And so we made a couple of mistakes in the Ukraine fatigue video. We misspelled fatigue with 2 T's. In the Sweden NATO video, misspelled extradite a couple of times and separate. But that's just entirely our bad, and hopefully that will improve.
It's partly a function of moving software and changes in process. Also, as you say, having one fewer person. Also, I've barely been here so far this year. Like, it's annoying. Shouldn't have happened. But yeah, it makes sense.
We'll just apologise. That's just a big sorry from us. That's not good enough. I think that's basically everything. My God, that was quick.
It was too quick almost.
Too quick. It's going to look silly having not done an editorial for like 2 months, and then it's like a 7-minute thing.
But I mean, we just need to get the ball rolling again, right? Now we'll be back every 2 weeks.
We're going to do a 2.5-minute episode next week.
We'll make no mistakes.
Yeah, hopefully make no mistakes. Okay. Yeah. Well,
I hope that was worth your time.
Yeah, that's good. Well done, guys. Nice. I think we've actually covered everything there. If there's not something you thought we didn't cover, like a mistake we've made in the past 3 months that you've been really het up about for ages, just comment down below, and we'll probably just say sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't laughing then at someone being upset. I was laughing at the fact that it had been 3 months and it's such a big window of just any vague complaints for the last 3 months. But if you've got any, we'll address them.
Nice. Well, thank you for watching this episode of the editorial. I've been Zach Michaelis. I've been Zach Michaelis, TLDR's editor-in-chief, and you've been
Jack Kelly, TLDR CEO.
Very smooth. Nice.
I like this new ending though.
Yeah, it's nice. Nah, we had that cut there. Definitely cut there. I've said this thing so many times, I can't remember what to say. It's so long ago.
I forgot the World Cup even happened. Who won?
Argentina.
France?
Argentina. How do you not know that?